Hey everyone, welcome to Pinkoween. This pattern is called Ghouls Night Out, and if you are going to create with us, you're going to want a dark and a light pink, a dark and a light orange, and black and white. That's the color palette I'm using for Pinkoween. Of course, you can always use whatever colors you would like, and you can change the pattern however you desire. Today I'm using a 4-inch round piece of wood, and I've got a 16 arm stencil. I've got my light and dark pink, my light and dark orange. On camera they're looking this looks a little yellow, but here in person it is orange and white. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna start with my 6-inch tool to make my center dot, and I'm gonna use my dark pink. That's a 6-inch dot for the center. I'm going to get a 1mm tool. I'm going to use my light pink, and I'm going to do a ring of 16. 1mm light pink. A ring of 16. With this same 1mm tool, I'm going to use my darker orange, and I am going to swipe. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. I want it to be about halfway between my first stencil marking out here and the ring we just made. And I am going to swipe inwards. We're going to do 8 of those. So this would be either every line or every other line, depending on what stencil you use. First ring of my stencil has 8 lines. So that was 8 swipes inward with the dark orange. Then I'm going to get the light orange, and I'm going to add a swipe in between each of those, going inwards. So we're alternating swipes with light and dark orange. That was 1mm. Next, we're going to go big. I'm going to get my 10mm tool, and we're going to do 8 dots every other line. I'm going to start on the lines next to my dark orange. Make sure you leave plenty of room. 10mm dots are large. This is pretty early. Usually in a pattern, it's a while before we get to the larger dots. But we're putting these right up close to the middle. We're going to end up with 8. Oh my gosh. Totally messed this up. Totally messed it up. Apparently, you gotta do what I say, not what I do. Alright, every other line. And I skipped one on accident. Alright. More of my pink. Alright, now what you're going to see me do, I'm just going to add a little more paint and even out these drops, because as you can see, I can see black through there, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to get a little paint on a stylus and add it in there. Make sure I don't get too much transparency. Alright, so that was 8 dots, 10mm, and our dark pink. I'm going to get a 4mm tool and my dark orange. And in between those dots on the inside of that ring, I'm going to make some dots, 4mm, and we're going to pull these into teardrop shapes. So I'm going to do 4 at a time. I'm going to get my stylus and just pull that into a teardrop going outward. If we've done this correctly, the dark orange dots that we're creating into teardrops will be next to the light orange whites. Then we're going to get a 6mm tool, and on the other side of that large pink ring, we're going to do a 6mm dot. Now I'm working outside the stencil line, so I'm going one ring out with my light orange, and we're going to turn these into teardrops going inward. Again, I'm doing 4 at a time just to speed this up a little bit. With light orange. Next, 4mm dot, dark orange, in between the teardrops we just made. You're going to see me go around one more time. Again, that's just to make sure I've got enough paint so that it's not transparent. And then 6mm, same color. I'm going to put a dot right next to that small dot we just did. Dark orange. Next, I'm going to get a 2mm stylus. We're going to use light pink, and we are going to swoop. So I'm going to start right where this dot ends, and swoop inward. Next, I'm going to go up to 2.5 millimeter stylus. I'm going to swoop with dark pink. I'm going to start in the same place, but I'm going to end at the second orange dot. Next, with my 2.5 millimeter tool, I'm going to go back to light pink. We're going to add a dot right next to that teardrop shape. Sorry about all the barking. I've got 2 German Shepherds who feel like something crazy is going on, even though nothing is going on. So 2.5 millimeter dot. I'm going to switch to 3 millimeters and I'm going to do a set of triple dots. So I'm going to do 1 on the inside, 2 along the edge in a triangle shape. 3 millimeters dark pink. And there you have it. This is the pattern for Ghouls Night Out. I really like this one. I decided not to use the white. I think I like it as it is. You could certainly, you do have room in this pattern if you wanted to fill in some space. Maybe in here you could add some white swipes. You could certainly fill this in with small white swipes. You can change this pattern as you see fit. I would love to see what you create. You can always share with me in my Facebook group, which is Mandala Artist USA. And I am doing 15 videos for Pinkoween this month. So go ahead and follow my YouTube channel and throw a like on my video. That helps more people see what I'm creating here. And you'll be able to find me for the other Pinkoween sets. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope I see you next time. Happy dotting, everyone.